What's going on, you guys? Welcome on back to the channel. And I think at this point, it's safe to say Kagurabachi is hands down the best manga that's currently running in Jump. This manga is doing things that when you first started Kagurabachi, you would think that it has the potential to reach these lengths with the basis of the story that it had. Like, I always thought Kagurabachi could get to this point, but everybody always saw it as like the meme manga. That's what everybody was calling it. Everybody called this the meme manga, like the industry plant manga. This manga is going to get axed in 20 chapters. Here we are at chapter 85, and this manga not only is still going strong, but it's reaching new heights with each chapter that is put out by Hakazono, man. This chapter tells me is that Hakazono is hands down one of the best mangaka that we have had the privilege of seeing flourish recently, right? Like, sure, at the beginning of Kagurabachi, you could argue that it's not at its strongest yet, but it picks up immediately. And now we're here, chapter 85, and it's like feels like it's just the culmination of everything. Now, where do I even start talking about one of the best chapters that I've ever read for Kagurabachi? Well, the first thing I think we could talk about is Samura. Samura at this point is hands down one of the most compelling characters, or I guess even antagonists, that I've ever read in a Shonen Jump manga. He feels so well developed, so well actualized. Everything about Samura just clicks, just works. His backstory is so good. Like, you know how we had the Kuma backstory in One Piece? That's kind of how I felt reading Samura's backstory week to week. Like, it was emotional. You felt what Hakazono was going for with it. It was just so good. And the good thing that I really like about the Samura flashback is that once it's done, it feels like it continues to trickle throughout the chapters that come after. That's what I like. That's a good backstory. A backstory that like permanently affects the story. That's what I love. That's what I love to see. And Samura, man, Samura is just such a good character, man. I know, I know when this Kagurabachi anime eventually happens because it is going to happen at some point. It's all but confirmed it's going to happen. I know for a fact everybody is going to want to play Samura because Samura has so much rich material to work with. Samura already makes you feel the emotions whenever you read his dialogue in the manga. Imagine when you're hearing his lines performed in anime format. Like, you're gonna be in tears, man. If they get the right voice actor for Samura, that's gonna be one of the hands down best vocal performances in all of anime. Because he already has so much to work with, and just the minute screen time that Samura has really had. He hasn't been in the whole story, but in the time frame that he's been in it, he has so much to work with and draw from for an anime adaptation. I can't wait to see that, man. That's going to be so good. But the best thing that happened for Samura in this chapter, man, he opened his eyes. He healed himself finally because for the longest time, Samura felt like he didn't deserve to really look upon the world again because he blamed himself so much for everything that happened with the enchanted blades. He blamed himself for so much, but now he's finally at the point where he was able to heal his eyes, look upon his daughter, and see not just his daughter, but he saw his wife in the eyes of his daughter. That was what was so beautiful about it. You see that his wounds are gone because he healed them away. He finally feels like he is worthy of being able to see his daughter again. I loved that, man, because for the longest time, the whole time throughout this arc, you can tell Samura does not feels like he does not deserve to see his daughter again. And as time goes on, you wonder, is he going to die and pass on from this story without ever laying eyes on his daughter again? Well, he gets to see her again, but then he also sees his wife in her eyes, and I love that so much. But even though we just had this amazing moment for Samura where all of this is culminated for him, and his storyline has essentially flourished and become this beautiful thing. I think that Samura might not be long for this world at this point. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how it's going to be done, but I think Samura might be dying before the end of this arc. Because if you think about it, like I said, Samura is a character that felt like he didn't deserve to look upon his daughter ever again. So now the fact that he's looking on his daughter, not only is he looking at his daughter, but his wounds have been healed. I think this is when the Hishaku strike. And I think Samura might get killed off because it'll also it helps Chihiro's character as well. Because Chihiro, he wanted to show Samura a different path. He wanted to show him that he doesn't have to die. He can forge a new path for himself. And you see within this chapter that Chihiro's right. He can forge a new path for himself, but if Samura dies, could make Chihiro completely disillusioned again. Because now Chihiro has a whole new goal. He wants to destroy all the enchanted blades. And that's also a very cool change in Chihiro's character as well. Because it first went from him wanting to kill the Hishaku to I want to wipe out any trace the that of the weapons that the Hishaku could use. That's what I really like about that change because the enchanted blades, like they seemed like a really cool weapon system, and that's what I really like them. But now they kind of just feel like a they perverted on Rokuhira's ideals. If you really think about it, like the weapons, while they seem very cool, they kind of like distorted what Rokuhira wanted, and Rokuhira didn't believe in them anymore. They weren't being used the right way, and now Chihiro is picking up his father's work. He's reaffirming himself that he wants to be a swordsmith. So, dude, the fact now that he's going the route of trying to kill the or trying to destroy the blades, I love that so much, and I can't wait to see how that plays out. Now, where do I think next chapter is going to go? Well, and yeah, we're done talking about the chapter. We're just talking about this now. I do think that we're not going to be switching POVs. There's no way. If we shift POVs right now, that'd be very weird. That'd be very jarring, in my opinion. If we go back to Hikari right now, I don't think we're going to do that. If anything, I think we're gonna see how everything with Chihiro and Samura plays out, and I do think that we're going to see Samura maybe die next chapter. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they make it like an abrupt death or something like that. But if they do kill Samura off, man, what a great character he has been throughout the entire run that he has been in the manga. Every chapter Samura has been in, banger. Samura's just a banger of a character. Like, Hakazano struck gold with him, in my opinion. So, if you're going to kill him off, I hope they do it in a way that services the story and not just for shock value or anything like that. I hope it if they do kill Samura off, I hope it informs so many of the cast like storylines. I hope it helps the story. I hope it doesn't detract from it. That's primarily what I want. But after this, man, I don't know what's next for Kagurabachi. Kagurabachi could literally go anywhere now in terms of the story. Like chapter 85 is one of those landmark chapters that you don't get to see too often, especially in manga nowadays. You don't really get to see a story reach this point for itself where it's like, yeah, this is one of the best series in all of Jump right now. You don't get to see this too often. So I'm really glad that we were able to get Kagurabachi to this point, and now we're just going to get to see where the series goes next. And I cannot wait to see where we go. But I think that's it for me today. How did you guys feel about this landmark Kagurabachi chapter? Did you love it as much as me, or did you think that the chapter could have been better in different ways? Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. And as always, I'm going to talk to you guys next time. Bye.